How are you? How are you? Folks, I want to apologize for the late arrival. Wasn't feeling too good, and was like, wow, can I do the show tonight? And I said, yeah, I have to do the show tonight because it's that important to do the show tonight. So give it up for knowing that what you do matters. Progressive questions, folks. Now, one of the things that concerns many progressives is the actuality, or the reality, I should say, if a particular candidate is actually progressive. We find ourselves in this situation often. We care about policies, we care about what our candidates stand for, and when we support them, not only with our hard-earned dollars, but also with our time and energy when we go out and caucus, or we go out and canvass, or whether we phone bank, or whatever way that we get the word out, it matters that we're on the right side and we're backing the right candidates. Now, there's been some questions about a couple of candidates who have risen to notoriety lately. And those questions, they didn't escape me. And I think it's my duty as being a commentator for the progressive community to address these questions and try to somehow have a conversation, at least as a community, about them. And if by some byproduct of this conversation, I'm able to put some pressure on these candidates to speak publicly and able to give us a little bit more, how could you say, that cozy, warm feeling, well then, hey, that's just bonus points. But if we are to actually have a movement, we must be willing to ask tough questions, and we must be willing to question authority, speak truth to power, regardless to who the candidate is. So, all those people that reached out to me, those who I've spoken with privately, this buzz's for you. Now, Ayanna Pressely, some people have asked me about her record. There's a video that was done recently by Jimmy Dore that has many people asking questions. In fact, a good friend of mine texted me and she said, well, hey, they're comparing Ayanna Pressely to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and they're doing so wrongly because Miss Ayanna, let me bring this here, Miss Ayanna is so much more, how can we say, so much more progressive or so much more talented, I think that was the term they used, okay? And, yeah, there we go. There we go. Now we're right. Now we're right. Okay. So someone sent this to me. They actually were asking. They actually were telling me, informing me that they didn't feel that Alexandria Ocasio could hold a stick to Ayanna Pressely. And I didn't get into that conversation because I don't know. But what I do know is that I did have some questions about Ayanna Pressely. And once I shared with this person who was very supportive of Ayanna Pressely, once I shared with her this video, well, she had questions too. So let's take a look at the video that made a person who contacted me, who was very excited about Ayanna Pressely, suddenly have a lot of questions. Check out the video.
The battle for New Hampshire is on. Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders are going head-to-head.
Now, first thing I want to do, let me jump back on the screen real quick and make sure that this is clear, because I think this is important. Before I show you this video, I want to just let you know that this is an older video. Like this video, this statement, this report, this is back in 2016. So I just want that to be known. This is an older video. And now we can go with the video.
Head tonight, just days before the nation's first primary. The former Secretary of State is facing an uphill battle in the Granite State, where polls currently show Sanders leading Clinton by a 2-to-1 margin. CBS News senior political editor Steve Chigueras spoke with Boston City Councilor at Large and Clinton supporter Ayanna Pressely.
So what are you expecting to hear at the debate tonight?
More of the same. It's forums like this where Secretary Clinton really shines, and I'm looking forward to her continuing to make a strong case to the American people why they should vote for her as the next president of these United States of America.
So there's this fight going on between her and Senator Sanders right now about who's more progressive. How does Secretary Clinton sort of win that fight?
Well, I have to say, first I just want to celebrate the caliber, the breadth of knowledge and wisdom and experience of both of our candidates. I'm very proud of our party. I have to say, in terms of this debate, it really does agitate me. I don't know if there was some sort of secret meeting of progressives that determined what defines a progressive. And I'm really tired of people sort of trying to mansplain to me what that is.
Okay. Now, I don't want to stay on this topic too long, but I got to say something. And yes, I know, as I noted going into this, that this is an older video. This didn't happen yesterday. She didn't do it last month. She didn't do it during her primary run there in Massachusetts for the 7th District. But she did say these things. If you don't know what a progressive is, or if you question other people's, other voters' ability to discern what a progressive is to them, then I think we have a fundamental problem. Now, I would like to hope that she has changed her tune on this, but it seems to me that a candidate who is now running as a progressive, who just a couple of years ago didn't think, what's the word, mansplain what progressivism is, as if only women have cornered the market on what progressive is, or there's a difference. I don't think there's a difference between what a woman or what a man might feel progressive is. I don't think that's the deciding factor on progressivism. And so that we understand each other, at least for the purpose of this conversation, a progressive, in my opinion, in the capsule, the lens in which I look through it, and I'm sure there are some others, but I think there's some tenets that we agree on as those who support progressive candidates. One of those tenets being, we want to get money out of politics. That's very basic. Money out of politics. Number 2, we would like to end interventionist wars. Number 3, we would like to protect our environment / fight climate change. Number 4, we would like to reform our criminal justice system, which is an unjust system, particularly to our brown and black friends. Number 5, election integrity. We would like to restore or develop, because it hasn't been election integrity in my lifetime, we would like to move to a system of election integrity where we can validate, verify votes, that they actually come for the people. We like to make it so that that whatever party, whoever it is, any political body, at least one that we would vote for, would support election integrity, which would be checking ballots, making sure polls were open for all, and have a more inclusive voting process, which would not, how can we say, be more favorable to either Republicans or Democrats or what have you. In a check and balance for that as well, where we can monitor, go back and know and verify all elections. Some of us now, and it continues, I guess like number 6, 7, 8, it could be universal basic income, it could be Medicare for all, single payer, different phraseology regarding that concept. But these are tenets of progressives, or that a person with progressive ideology. Now, there are other things we could throw in, like I stated. A woman's right to choose should go without saying, but we can throw that in there. So there are certain characteristics or certain policies that we feel are important and we will fight for, and we will not sugarcoat it. We will not play games. We're not in it for popularity or for diversity or for any of that if the candidate doesn't embody at least most of those platform points. So that nowhere in there does it say it matters what gender you are, as far as, what gender orientation you are. These are concepts, these are policies that we support. And that crosses all lines of ethnicity, race, gender, orientation, or what have you. So I'm wondering where you're coming from. The rest of, I'm sure many progressives are wondering where Ayanna Pressely was coming from in his comments, because they don't make any sense. And they sound a lot like, I mean, I know you were a Hillary supporter, but it sounds like you're sort of a Hillary clone. And I don't think most people saw this clip before your election. And that's good for you. But we're going to keep going, guys. I've said enough, I think, on this point. Let's keep going, because she has more to say here.
I am an unapologetic progressive. I know what a progressive looks like, and I know what they do. And you cannot do in 3 days or 30 days what Secretary Clinton has been doing for 30 years. She is a progressive. It is being a progressive to fight for workers' rights, to fight for LGBT rights, to fight for women's rights, to fight for civil rights, to fight for voting rights. She is a progressive. So I'm tired of people trying to mansplain this away. She's made the case for herself in word and deed.
So, like I said, folks, this is really problematic for me, because if you think that Hillary Clinton is a progressive, now I question, well, let me back up. You say that you are a progressive, and you know what a progressive looks like. I'd like to know what that is, because I don't know what a progressive looks like. This is like a person to me. So I don't know what that means, unless you're talking about deeds and actions, and then I get what you're trying to say there. But you say that you know what a progressive is, and then you go on to say that Hillary Clinton is a progressive. See, the problem that we have is that we don't feel that Hillary Clinton is a progressive. The fact that you think that Hillary Clinton was a progressive in 2016 gives me all kinds of worry. Feelings of doom, actually, are like sweeping over me, that you would say that Hillary Clinton was progressive. Hillary Clinton was late on a lot of issues that she only adopted because she was running against Bernie Sanders. And if I know that, I know you know that. Hillary Clinton's chief arguing point, her chief talking point was incrementalism. In the words, I'm a progressive that likes to get things done, that doesn't even work together. That doesn't fit. It's like little big man. There's an oxymoron. Rich, poor guy. Poor rich. Get what I'm saying? So it keeps going and going and going. It's like, I'm sorry if this offends people, but Ayanna Pressely, in this interview at least, sounds like she fell down the tree of faux progressivism and hit every branch. We'll keep going, because there's more.
So Senator Sanders, though, will say that he has been for gay rights longer than she has. He has been for, on different side on the trade issue longer than she has. Iraq War, he points to that as an issue where they differed for a long time. So he argues that he's been a progressive longer than she has.
Okay, so let me just say this. I don't want to play this game, but if folks want to play this game, no progressive I know would vote 5 times against the Brady bill. Now, I'm an elected official. I represent an entire city, and the issue that comes up in every space I'm in is violence and the plague of gun.
See what she did there, guys? You saw what she did there. What she did was, I don't know who this commentator is, who's this reporter who asked the question, but he brought up, well, you know, Bernie Sanders was a hit of her in the Gay Marriage Act. He was a hit of her in the trade, wanting to reverse the horrible effects of NAFTA, and also TPP, which Hillary Clinton was pushing. I mean, there's so many other things that he could have added, like fracking. And he also brought up the Iraq War. And Miss Pressly, didn't address any of those things. She went right to calling something out about Bernie Sanders, as opposed to defending her candidate. Now, it gets worse and worse. It just continues. It won't get any better during the course of this video as far as Miss Ayanna Pressly's responses to this commentator. It sounds horrible, guys, because it is horrible. And I don't know what you say to that. I don't know what you say to it. One side of me wants to say, well, you know what? Miss Pressly is a politician. And she had a job. She was a surrogate for Hillary Clinton, and her job was to help her client win or help her candidate win. That's what she was put out there to do, and that's what she's doing. But see, this is the problem. This is the reason why I have a problem with politicians. Because it's sort of like Obama when he said to Hillary Clinton, say anything and do nothing. I think that was the ad that ran that he said he agreed to or that he approved. Well, a couple years later, or a few years later, he's saying that she's the most qualified person for the job. So it's always like, were you lying then or are you lying now? Were you lying then or are you lying now? Now, I got to admit, I didn't pay attention to the race in Massachusetts. The 7th district race, which Ayanna Pressly won. Just so happens they say she was running against a Capuno. Yeah, Pressly defeated Capuno last week in the race for his seat in Massachusetts' 7th congressional district, and she has no Republican opponent in the general election. So she won. She's in. This video is not about, should we support her, because she's already won. She's already in the house. She's just done. She's got it. She locked that down. This video, or this part of this video, or this part of this episode is about, are we being fooled? It's a real question, guys. Are we being fooled by these politicians who suddenly have come into Christ moments when it regards to progressivism? Who suddenly adopt the language of progressives, of Medicare for all, of $15 an hour. Hell, Hillary Clinton didn't even support $15 an hour. And there she is campaigning for it. Now, I haven't gotten to Andrew Gillum yet. Excuse me. I have not gotten to Andrew Gillum yet, but he was a surrogate for Hillary too. And what I'm saying is, folks, are we putting our energy behind people who don't deserve it? Are we putting our money behind candidates that don't deserve it? And is independent media doing a better job of vetting out these candidates and informing us? Now, we all know the center of the left, you know what, let me stop calling the center of the left. That's adopting their language. These Republican-like candidates and the Republican-like voters could care less. But we care. And the fact that we do care, I got to ask, are we doing a well enough job of vetting these candidates? Are we getting the word out? Because until she won, I didn't hear anything about this woman, and I'm part of independent media. I'm part of progressive independent media, and I hadn't done anything on it, nor had I been asked to. So I feel like I let you down. Now, I'm not suggesting that her opponent, Michael Capano, was better or more suited for the job or more progressive, because I don't know. In fact, she's on the record, Miss Pressly's on the record saying they were basically the same on the issues. The only difference is she's younger, so she should be new blood and they need to move on. My point is this. I think we need to do a better job of vetting candidates. I think we need to do a better job as media, and those folks who had the resources, those media entities in independent media, we need to start using some of those resources to vet out candidates and let the community know what we're getting. I'm not saying we wouldn't have supported Ayanna Pressely over Michael Capano. What I'm saying is these questions should have been asked. And I'm not saying they should have been asked in an antagonistic way. I'm not saying that they should have been asked in a way which was horrible and insulting. I'm not saying that. But I'm sure as a seasoned politician, as Miss Ayanna Pressely just stated that she was, she would welcome the questions because she's prepared for them and she understands what's at stake. My problem is I don't know if we know what's at stake. Because it's more than just if she's going to win, it's if we should put any energy, any time, any hope, belief, trust in Ayanna Pressely. Now, it's possible that maybe Ayanna Pressely didn't believe or doesn't feel the same way she felt back in 2016. But it's highly possible that she does. And unfortunately, we won't get that opportunity now to find out, right? I mean, what incentive does Ms. Pressely have to come on my show and answer what was she talking about in 2016? And what is your definition of progressivism? And what is your definition of, I don't know, sellout? She has no incentive whatsoever unless we give her an incentive. I'm just concerned, guys. Now, one upside to Ayanna Pressely that I want to communicate, because we want to keep it real here, just not here to say what's negative, is she did not take corporate money. Ayanna Pressely did not take corporate money. In fact, the title of this article is Ayanna Pressely Campaign Says She'll Keep Turning Down Corporate Donations in Congress. That's a good, we want that. That's positive. That is positive. But will she play footsie with the neoliberal? Will she play footsie with the corporate Democrats? Let's stop saying neoliberal. Let's just call them corporate Democrats. Will she cave to them on issues that matter to us? See, that's the type of that's where we are now on this. And I think it matters that we know that going in. Because I'm tired of seeing folks demoralized behind candidates who sell them snake oil. Behind candidates who have learned from 2016 and started adopting our language. I swear, I feel that a lot of these candidates, they sit around, they listen to what we say, or people on their campaign watch us on social media, and then they start developing their rhetoric. And all we want to do, or all I want to do, is to make sure we become better stewards of the word progressive, and we hold people accountable, and we don't extend our energy and our belief systems or our trust in these candidates when they don't deserve it. Well, we might not be able to stop them from winning. We may not be able to get in a real progressive, but we got to know when someone's a phony. And I'm not saying that Ayanna Pressely's a phony. I'm saying she sounded like one on that video. And now we won't get to know. Now we won't get to know, will we? So I'm glad you're not taking corporate PAC money, Ms. Pressely. I didn't like any of your responses to the questions in that video. Not a single one. The fact that you've been a politician this long, the fact that you were able to, I don't know what this is, defeat Michael Capano in such impressive fashion, I just feel like it must have took some progressive juice. So who endorsed you? I'm thinking Justice Democrats. Somebody in the chat room, who endorsed Ayanna Pressely? Someone knows. Who endorsed her? Anybody know who endorsed her? What organization endorsed her? I don't know. When someone says they don't, Hillary actually said that in a debate, I'm a progressive. Remember that. There you go. Stephen Carl says she's not sounding like a phony. She's sounding like a Democrat. Yeah, she's sounding like a Democrat, which is, well, see, I wouldn't call her a phony, but she says she's progressive. So that's where the phony part comes in, my brother. That's why. You know what I'm saying, Jonathan? Because she says, I'm a progressive. I know what progressives look like. And Hillary's a progressive. Well, if a progressive is someone who supports someone who never met a war she didn't vote for, never met a bad trade deal she didn't push us into, right? All the hot rhetoric we could go over and over on Hillary Clinton over the years. All of the hot actions that Hillary Clinton conducted, and still call her a progressive, and then talk down her nose to people who supported Bernie Sanders. I mean, and then and say she's a progressive while doing so. I gotta wonder. Like, that to me is a phony. She could just be an insincere opportunist. I don't know. TYT endorsed her. Who said that? She said TYT endorsed her. George Scheller says that TYT endorsed her. See, did TYT do a video about Miss Ayanna Pressely and her support of Hillary and her arguments that she made? I don't know why I'm even asking that question. I don't know why I'm asking that question, man. I think we know the answer to that question. Look, look, guys, let's make this clear. I'm not saying that it doesn't matter. Well, how can I say this? I'm not saying that there is no way in hell that we would have supported her. What I'm saying is we should have been able to ask these tough questions. And if we got independent media, their job is to ask those questions. Now, I know more than anyone else, even if you ask the right questions, if you don't do the right follow-up questions, and if you don't go after them enough, and I know how all the criticism is, but hell, something, I'm learning, I'm getting it, right? All I'm saying is, why wasn't she questioned? Why didn't anyone ask her about this video? Ask her about what she really represents. Ask her about the things she said out of her mouth, and at least she'd have to walk it back. Or something. I feel like we got suckered. And I don't like getting suckered. And I don't like my friends getting suckered. And I don't like people getting their hopes up high. I don't like us being taken for a ride by a corporate Democrat. And if you're not a corporate Democrat, you need to let us know, because as someone commented, I think it was Uli in the comment section, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck.
If we're going to start spouting out litmus tests for what it means to be a progressive, God, I don't know a progressive that wouldn't do everything in their power to end this cycle of violence.
She said if we're going to start spewing out litmus tests, she said if we're going to start spewing out litmus tests. Yes, we are going to start spewing out litmus tests. If it's too much to ask, if a candidate will support Medicare for all, that's too much for you. It's too much to ask for a candidate not to support horrible trade deals that send our jobs overseas. That's too much for you. Minimum wage is hard. Hold on a second. Guys, I'm going to fight through this. I think the kids brought something home from school that I'm coming down with. If it's too much to ask, if you consider a litmus test asking if somebody will support us going to war on BS interventionist motives disguised as philanthropic pursuits, well, sister, you got another thing coming. That's a good litmus test. That's like one of them good litmus tests when we start asking those types of questions. And I'm not saying you wouldn't have won. What I'm saying is we wouldn't have voted for you. When I say we, I mean the progressive community. We are tired of people raising money on us. We are tired of people getting our hopes up high. We're tired of people fooling us, technology, about how progressive they are. And in the end of the day, they are just talk. Look, a lot of us owe a lot to TYT. We do. Some of us started off watching TYT. TYT has set a bar of success that is inspiring to anybody who's pursuing independent media, commentary, what have you, right? They've been extremely successful, but I think that success has come at a price. And if TYT, who call themselves progressive, endorsed this woman without making her speak to this video, speak to the thing she's saying. This video is not about TYT, but see, I didn't know they endorsed her. I know that Jank and Kyle are no longer with Justice Democrats, so anything the Justice Democrats did, that's nothing on TYT as an organization. But what I'm saying is if you had her on and you were boosting her to progressives, which helped her fund her campaign, meanwhile, she's not committed, and you didn't even voice the questions, man, I got a problem. Dude, I got a problem with that. And that ain't for clicks or views. I just got a problem with it. That's not just because I want to feud with you, and I already know you're not going to respond. What I'm saying is the people will respond. We're going to start responding because she needs to speak to this. I was going to let this go, but it keeps getting worse. Let's let it keep going, guys. Look, I had to take some NyQuil or something anyway. Well, let's just keep going. Let's hear the rest. She's got a couple more minutes.
That is plaguing our cities.
Can we talk about younger voters? So in Iowa,
I'm one of them.
70%. Sanders beat Clinton by 70 points among voters 30 and under, or 29 and under. How does Secretary Clinton get younger voters to pay attention to what she's saying?
Well, she has to keep doing what she already has been doing. But what I have to, just underscore, I think the Secretary articulated this very well in Derry, New Hampshire last night. She's going to continue to work to earn their confidence and to earn their support. But whether youth support her or not, she will be supporting them as their president. And what I love about the Secretary is that she looks at all of these things holistically. So not only will she be the best president for them as a young
man, goodness gracious, guys, I can't do. I mean, we're not gonna get through any of this, man. We're not gonna get through any of it. I can't, guys. I'm gonna be stopping this every sentence because it's so horrible. It's so horrible, man. She's progressive. She's a progressive. Did The Intercept do an article on this? Who covered this? This is horrible. This is horrible. It really is, man. All right. Let's keep going, man. I'm gonna try to keep going. But it's just like one horrible statement after the next.
Person. She will be for them in the later years of their life and for their
God, it's the whole, we already know Hillary gonna win, so she's gonna be your president, so get ready. Whether you support her or not, she's gonna be your president, so there you go. It's that type of attitude that made her think she didn't have to do anything, that she didn't need to speak to the issues of millennials, which gave us Donald Trump. And when we talk about Donald Trump being merely a symptom of the problem, Hillary Clinton's part of that problem. And you know what? Ayanna Pressely is part of that problem too. Now, I don't know if she is in 2018, but I'm damn sure she was in 2016. That attitude that, oh, well, you know, she's going to win, so, you know, act right. Telling progressives you better get a bottle of act right and act right is not a winning strategy. I'm just going to keep going, man. This is no fun, because I'm getting more and more worked up.
Parents now, because she knows that strong families make for a strong America. I have to just say this, you know, I'm not easy. I don't casually lend my name, my sweat equity to any cause or any candidate.
She says she's not easy. Supporting Hillary Clinton was one of the most easiest things that you could humanly do in 2016. I said supporting Hillary Clinton was the easiest thing you could do in 2016. That's why so many people did it. What was not easy to do was support Bernie Sanders or Dr. Jill Stein. Those were difficult things to do. Supporting the most establishment candidate in the history of presidential candidates, Hillary Clinton, was not a hard thing to do. Now, I don't know if you're easy, but I know your supporting her was really easy. What Tulsi Gabbard did was hard to do. Give up her vice chair and go support Bernie. Because the policies were more in line with what she ethically thought a president should be behind. What Senator Nina Turner did, that was hard to do. You know, turn your back on the Clintons. Yeah, turn your back on the Clintons when they're so powerful and you might want to still be in politics, and then see the knives come out and say, well, jawbone, backbone, here we go. Like that, that's hard to do. But now you getting out there and campaigning for Hillary, that ain't hard to do, that's easy. That's why you did it, and that's why the rest of them did it. See, I would just like people to be honest, man. Like, I would like to hear responses. It's really almost not fair because she can't respond to this right now. And what's really bad is that no one asked her. I would have at least asked her about this. I would have wanted to know. Don't you want? I still want to know. Because if one single activist, supporter, progressive organization, volunteer, donor, what gives one iota or lifts one finger for her, they should know what they're getting into. And let them make that informed decision. A decision that's based on information. Whether it's favorable or unfavorable, we deserve a right to know. I feel bad though that I just found this out. I found this out. All right, keep going.
She has vigorously earned my support over the last 30 years in word and deed, and that's why I'm with her.
What? Oh, so see, guys. Nah, man. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. We can't have this. We can't have this. This is bullshit. We can't have this, man. We can't do this. We can't do this, man. I'm sorry, guys. I'm coming down with a fever anyway, and I can't do it. I just can't. I can't do it, y'all. All right, this woman is full of shit. All right? She's full of shit. You know, I started off kind of professional. I don't got time to be professional. This is horrible. This is horrible. She's throwing all her weight behind Hillary And she's saying, hey, this is me. This is what I believe. This woman cannot be trusted. I don't care. I don't care if she changed her mind. You were that damn wrong. I got nothing else to say. There's some things you can't come back from. Folks, if you want to see some things you can't come back from, I'm sorry, guys. This right here, I mean, damn it, guys. Come on now. Come on, man. Come on. One more time.
Not easy. I don't casually lend my name.
She didn't casually lend her name. Damn it.
My sweat equity.
Her sweat equity. She gave her sweat equity up for Hillary. Keep that in mind.
To any cause or any candidate.
This wasn't in the general election. This is in the primary election when she had choices. Now, I look. If you felt that, hey, if you saw Trump over there and you were like, nah, man, we can't have Trump in the general, hey, I have no problem with you. But this is the freaking primary when she had options. You understand what I'm saying? She had options. And she's talking cavalier about Hillary like she the second coming. Like Hillary is actually a progressive candidate. And she's throwing all her weight behind it. And I'm supposed to forget that? And then no one asked her about it?
She has vigorously earned my support.
How? Oh, she promised you a job? What'd she do to earn your support? What'd she do to earn your support? I don't know. Was it the Super Predators? Was it fracking? Was it TPP? Was it NAFTA? Was it waiting till 2012 like gay marriage is cool? Like what'd she do to earn it exactly? What'd she do? Huh? I'm just wondering. What'd she do? Let me see if she names the things that Hillary Clinton did to earn her support.
Over the last 30 years,
Go ahead.
word and deed. And
oh, no, man, don't tell me. Oh, it's going to be chips, ain't it? It's going to be chips. Remember that chips program she did in the 80s or the 90s? It's going to be that. That's what it's going to be. Them damn chips. Meanwhile, she threw the mothers off welfare. She threw the mothers off welfare and she sent the daddies to prison. But she gave the kids some damn chips. Ayanna, Pressely, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. TYT, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. Who interviewed this woman? No one asked her this? No one asked her?
that's why I'm with her.
So 2 polls out today showed her down 20 points and 30 points to Sanders here in New Hampshire. Why do you think that's the case?
Oh, I mean, there are many things that could speak to that, but I'm not focused on polls. I'm focused on the people, and I know that when she gets in a room and she has an opportunity to be in spaces like this, that people are converted. People that are lukewarm or that were never sold on her, they leave that space convinced and committed. These ridiculous arguments about enthusiasm really just not only discredit the secretary, but every single person behind her. The senior citizen, the great-grandmother that I saw in New Hampshire.
She said the enthusiasm. She said the enthusiasm behind Hillary Clinton. Enthusiasm. She used the word enthusiasm and Hillary Clinton in the same sentence instead of, and it didn't include the word lack. Devoid. Like there's other words that need to be in that sentence if you're going to use those 2 words in a statement. Hillary Clinton lacks enthusiasm. Hillary Clinton denotes no enthusiasm. Maybe if you add words like voters reject Hillary, they have no enthusiasm in her. That would work. That would work. I mean, how bad? Capano must have been horrible, guys. I'm going to get off this. Capano, you must have been horrible. Come on now. That's got to be what it is. That's horrible. That whole video is horrible. I didn't even finish the whole thing because I don't want to spend 2 hours on. Ayanna Pressely and how much she bamboozled people into thinking that she was progressive. I mean, yo, if no one asked her, I'm going to have to assume that that's still her belief system. Did she fall down and hit her head and suddenly change? Did the body snatchers come down? Or did the hypnotist put a spell on her? What happened that changed her in 2 years from somebody who thought Hillary's so progressive? She's so progressive. I threw all my weight behind her. I really support her. What changed? Oh, because she's well-spoken. If you guys don't stop falling for the well-spoken people, as if that's everything. Man, Capone had to really blow chunks. What was wrong with him? We came, we saw he died, like, ha 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 ha, like that? Did he do one of those? What was Capone's, like, I don't know, background? What did he, like, forget the kids, let's beat the kids. Everybody go home and beat your kids. Was that his campaign slogan? I mean, how did she beat this guy? Look, if you're voting for a candidate because of identity politics, because they black, and you want to show me that you're not racist, hey, you show me you're not racist when you help elect candidates that will actually combat racism, not candidates that show no signs that they're going to stand up for shit. You're not helping me. You're not helping my kids by voting for candidates that are going to maintain status quo and lie like a rug and support the warmongers and people that did nothing but make bad trade deals and send people to jail. And then go on Kimmel. Come on, people. We're going to go on to Andrew Gillum, but first I want to check, because sometimes I forget to check with people who make comments on Facebook and YouTube. So let me go check, man. Imad Orandi, they are the last gasp of identity politics. Disgusting. Oh, Tulsi was on Joe Rogan. Tulsi, Cenk Çerin, these two says everything about TYT and DNC. JD 2020. Yeah. I don't get that totally, but I appreciate what you're saying about Justice Democrats 2020. Cenk Çerin, these two says everything about TYT and DYC. Oh, so they supported. So okay, so Cenk was cheerleading for her. See, man, here's the deal, guys. I know that I didn't just discover Bigfoot by finding that out about her. And that means people can't be trusted. And like more than just like, you know, like this is horrible. I like to not even voice the questions about that. About her.